Welcome back. My name is April Marie, and today I have the pleasure and the privilege of speaking with former Vipers head coach and the current Minnesota Timberwolves head coach, Chris Finch. How are you doing today, coach?
I'm doing great, April Marie. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. Thank you so much for asking. Where are you at right now?
I'm in Florida. I'm down in my place in Florida for a little week away before we get back to Minnesota and start planning out the rest of the summer.
I was about to say, I feel like you're already back to work so soon, but you're in that Florida heat, which means you can resonate over here with us with the heat in the valley.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's well, you guys are probably leaving a little hotter than we are right now, but it's nice down here.
Yeah, it's pretty hot, and the mosquitoes are no joke right now. But coach, I'd like to start off first by congratulating you on your position with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm so excited to see what it is that you do with that team. I know your career is going to continue to flourish. However, coach, that position didn't just happen overnight. How do you feel like the various roles you've had in the sports world have prepared you for this current role?
Yeah, it's a great question, April Marie. I mean, everything that we do in life is really part of a journey. It's not the end of the journey, and everything that you've experienced along the way really shapes that. That shapes those opportunities, and it gives you the experience to draw upon when you're, in those big roles that you dream to have. So, I've had the fortunate, I've had the great fortune rather to be involved in a lot of um, first class organizations, whether it be here in the United States or in Europe, where I got my start. Trying to kind of learn on the fly when I was young, all kinds of different ever changing environments. And that's all stuff that I'm using every single day right now. And it's really it's kind of funny how life works out, but you don't really know sometimes when you're in the middle of it where it's going to lead. As long as you just keep focusing on doing the best job you can wherever you are.
No, and I couldn't agree with you more because it was during your time that you were with us here down in the valley that you led the Vipers to their first playoff berth. And you were the reason why we won our first ever NBA G League or D League, back then D League championship in 2010. Back then, how did that accomplishment sort of confirm your future as a head coach?
Well, I would like to say that I had a lot of help down there. We had some great players, great organization with Lonzo and everything that he's done to support that effort in the valley. And of course, the Rockets were great. Um, and it's listen, like I took a leap of faith to come from Europe to work for the Rockets and be in the valley and kind of start that endeavor that they were beginning there with the Vipers. And I couldn't have asked for a better proving ground. Really, it was a lot. I got a lot of support from the Rockets. We had, as I said, we had great players. We had local ownership was fully invested in making it a first class organization, which it continues to be. And then the easy part was just trying to do what I'd always done, and that's coach the team. But we had a lot of moving parts. The nature of the game there, and um, I learned the NBA game, which is slightly different than the European game. So a lot of those things, right, kind of proved to myself. I was able to prove to myself that I have adaptability, and I think that's important as we go through anything we do in life.
Yeah, of course. And is there a memory that resonates with you when you think about your time here in the Valley?
Well, winning the championship is certainly the highlight. We just had such a really good team that year, and we won both playoff series on last second plays, both of them by Craig Winder. I mean, who was a role player for us all year. Wasn't one of our main superstars, if you will, but he played really well when it mattered most.
Yeah, for sure. And coach, we have some exciting news happening in within the next couple of months. The Olympics is officially returning after being postponed last year due to the pandemic. And the reason I asked this question is because you were the head coach back in 2012 during the Summer Olympics for Great Britain. How did that experience challenge you?
Oh God. That was just another part of the journey. It was 6 years. We started from scratch. Had to get everybody re-energized about the program, get the players committed, and then again we had to prove ourselves, and we built up a place where players wanted to come. We made it a player first, very player friendly environment. Again, we were competing at the highest level in Europe, then eventually against the best teams in the world at the Olympics. We were an underdog story. We didn't have necessarily the strength of our opponents, so we had to be creative in our approaches. You don't play a lot of games when you're coaching a national team. Every game matters so greatly, so we had such priority and such emphasis on how we prepared and every single game. And I can say at the end of my career I've done a lot of things, but I'm not sure I've done anything more meaningful to a group of people than that Olympic run.
No, and that was huge. So, which leads to my next question. If given the opportunity, would you do it all over again?
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. I mean, I would love to do it all over again. It's a big commitment. It's a large part of your summer. It's a large part of several summers in the run up to it. I just haven't been able to afford the time, but it's something that I would like to do once again. The memories, the just being in that such a unique sporting environment where you're amongst the best of the world. Or you go into the food hall and there's Usain Bolt in grabbing some lunch. You see the American swimmers in there. You see the Brazilian volleyball players. I mean, you see just the best of the best walking around, and then you get the chance, if you can sneak away from your day job, so to speak, to go watch them compete. There's nothing like watching sports at the highest level. It's just such great entertainment and great drama.
That's huge.
But we were the host country, and it was very special for our players to be in the Olympics in their home country. Again, it's just one of those heartfelt moments in sports that you'll never leave you, just because of what it meant to everybody involved.
Yeah, for sure. And coach, 8 years later after that, you were reunited once again with Coach Nurse. And it's so funny because both of you have kind of shared the role as each other's assistant coach at different points in time throughout your career. But has there been a lesson that you've learned in having the opportunity to work with him?
Well, I'll tell you this: I've worked with a lot of really good coaches in the league and across the world at times, and there's none better than Nick. His creativity and his ability to he just thinks so far outside the box at times when it comes to basketball. He's always probing. He's testing your mind. I'm probably a little bit more conventional in my approach and things that I've done. He brings unbelievable energy to everything that he does, whether he be an assistant coach or a head coach. It's very infectious. Players are drawn to him. I learned a lot working along with him. Didn't matter whether I was head coach or I was assistant coach or he was head coach or he was assistant coach. It was just we have this kind of really unique shared experience of our paths have crossed, our paths have intertwined, our paths have run parallel. I owe him a lot, not just because of the opportunity that he gives me or has given me this past year to work with him as an assistant, or the fact that he helped us so much as an assistant with the national team. He's one of the reasons that I actually came to the Vipers. He's the one that encouraged me to take the opportunity when it came. I was in Europe. I was in a different path at the time. I was pretty comfortable. I was enjoying my success and my life there. But he said, "This is going to make you a better coach. You need to be here." And I did it. And I made the jump mostly because he encouraged me to do so.
No, and I feel like he has that infectious kind of personality. He's definitely a coach that we admire and we love over here with the Vipers family as well. But I'd like to shift now and talk a little bit about your current role now, coach, and your current team. With both Carl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell entering their prime, do you feel like this team is now good enough to legitimately be playoff contenders come next season?
Well, that's the big question, April Marie. That's what we are all going to find out. I mean, we need a big summer with our young players and our vets and our all-star level talent. Those guys have to, and they've done a great job of really being supportive of me and the things we're trying to do. And now we got to turn the work from the summer into great preparation for next season. I believe we have the raw talent. I believe we do. We're going to try to add to that. We're going to try to improve that. We're going to try to make it better internally with our player development. But If we commit to playing the right way and playing defense and sharing the ball on offense and doing all the things that coaches love to talk about, I think we can make great strides next year. It's always hard to predict playoff positioning because you just don't know what the rest of the conference is going to look like. But having said that, I'm confident we can continue in the vein that we were playing, which was pretty good basketball down the stretch.
And you mentioned early on about younger players. So one of those younger players happened to be Anthony Edwards, quickly becoming a huge fan favorite. How do you envision his career evolving with the franchise? And do you see his game having a ceiling?
Well, we love Ant. I mean, just a remarkable story, off the floor as an individual. And he really grew into this season, and he's attacked this opportunity with everything that he has. I don't know if he has a ceiling. I'm sure he does. We just don't know where it is. It's going
Right.
to come down to how quickly he learns the game, how fast he continues to develop, and how much he continues to love the game. I know he loves the game right now, but he's got to keep that passion alive for the game, and we think he will. Um, he's an integral part of our success. He's the biggest upside in our organization is his development, um, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to make sure that he has every chance to be a top level player and a top level player that we think he can be.
And he's definitely going to be one to watch. But now going back to you, coach, you've now been in this role for about 3 months, having worked your way from the bottom up. But what type of compassion is needed to not only focus on creating a winning franchise, but being able to resonate with players in a league dominated by minorities during a time in which race happens to be at the forefront of everyday life?
Yeah, everything we do is based on our relationships that we're able to build with our players, and that's really where it starts. I mean, long gone are the days where the coach is the sole authoritarian figure of what you should and shouldn't do. You have to build respect by building relationships, knowing what you're talking about when it comes to basketball strategy, and you have to have their best interests at heart. And oftentimes that's career driven, but it's also about a lot of other things, social issues, their family life, things that are happening in the background in their lives, which affect all of us, but affect their ability to go out and be at their best. We have to be able to accommodate those, be there for them. Our players, we're so proud of them. They're very active in the community. They care. It's been a tough year in the city of Minneapolis, but our players have done us proud, not just by the way that they finished the season, but more importantly by the way they handled themselves, um, as individuals and also ambassadors for the Timberwolves organization.
No, and that's huge. And we're so grateful and excited to continue to see their efforts throughout the community. But you, coach, at the end of it all, when it is all said and done and your career does come to an end, what do you want to be recognized for?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't really give it much thought. I think I mean, I like winning. I just want to be recognized to continue to win and build winning or build in a winning environment. But more importantly, I think one of the things I take most pride in is that a lot of the players that have played for me at different places along the way, I'm still in contact with, and they have enjoyed the experience of playing, for our teams. And I think that says a lot. And that's what I'm probably going to want to continue to be most proud about.
Well, coach, I can tell. I'm so excited. I'm actually sad that I was not here while you were here because I can already tell you are an amazing individual. And that's why I'm so excited to see you continuing to develop your career and everything that the Timberwolves organization has in store. But thank you so much again. I know you're a busy person. So I appreciate you and everybody who watched today's interview. Thank you so much. Again, my name is April Marie, and this is Chris Finch. Thank you, coach.
Thank you, April. And I'd like to say thanks to everybody down in the Valley. I loved my time there. You guys have a great organization. Special shout out to Renee and to Lonzo and to all the crew.
Thank you.